I am the cybersecurity awareness lead for what is now Common Spirit Health, which is the unified company of Dignity Health hospitals with Catholic Health hospitals. And we are now probably one of the largest healthcare providers in the US with over 250,000 employees. Prior to landing in cyber, I actually worked in marketing and communications for 15 years. My specialty is consumer engagement. I've probably produced or assisted in the production of hundreds of videos, anything from event videos, news segments, commercials, to awareness videos. And I can tell you the ones that have made the biggest impact are the ones that are the most unexpected. The good news is that you do not need to be a videographer to produce something that's highly entertaining. You just need to think about it in a different way. I know most of us in this room can actually break down complex information. Now it's just about making it relatable, get your audience to buy it in, and consume it. So, I know most of us in this room have probably experienced what this person is feeling. I mean, even in my own company, God bless them, they have videos like this, where it's just a person talking, I just want to fast forward and get to the end, take the quiz, and just guess. That is not the impression I want to leave behind to my audience. So what's the solution? Well, we could just give them something really fun and entertaining. A banana story. Interestingly enough, in the early 19th century, the banana was considered a novelty. It was not an easily understood food. People didn't even know what it was or how they were supposed to eat it. Americans were introduced to the banana at the World's Fair in Philadelphia in 1876, and then interest in the banana started to pick up a bit. But it wasn't until 1944 when the fruit company introduced Chiquita Banana and her catchy banana song, when the popularity of the banana just like skyrocketed. So you could say, she actually taught people how to eat them. And you could say that Chiquita was the first ever training video for the banana. Now it's one of the world's most popular foods. I guarantee if you're going to the grocery store, on your list, milk, bread, eggs, bananas. Okay, so I'd like you to imagine, take off your cyber brain, I'd like you to imagine that the banana is your product, and I want you to sell people on eating it. So how are you going to do that? Maybe from a technical perspective. Okay. All right. The banana is an edible fruit berry. It grows from an herb. It's elongated. It's curved. It has a peel. It has many nutrients. It's packed with vitamins, minerals, and lots of fiber. I can't wait. Okay, so probably not. How about we try selling it from a compliance perspective? Bananas are good for you. You will eat this banana. That is the rule. You better eat this banana if you know what's good for you. How about now? Are you interested? Are you excited to eat this banana? No, probably not. So let me tell you how I sold the banana. In my experience, people are not interested in the details and all of the information. They don't want the science and the data, and they definitely don't want to be told what to do. Your job isn't to lecture them, it's to get them hooked into wanting to know more. If you are not capturing your audience within the first 10 seconds, you are losing engagement. Okay, so here's how I discovered a new way of looking at training videos. I was at home, I was sitting on my couch, I was playing with my phone, and I was watching Tasty. I'm a regular consumer of Tasty videos. And I was like really sucked in because I was watching this amazing recipe for spinach and artichoke bread bowls. And I was like so excited. I can't wait to test this out at my next party. And so a light bulb came on. And I was like, these Tasty videos are insanely popular. What if I came up with a way of doing a cyber video tutorial using the same kind of setup as Tasty, with all like the ingredients coming into the bowl? They're fast motion, so they really suck the viewer in, and they have a high engagement and completion rate because they're under a minute or two long. So I called my videographer, and I said, have you ever done stop motion photography? And he said, well, no, but I think we could figure it out. And for those of you that don't know, stop motion is when you take individual picture frames and put them in a sequence back to back, so when they're played through, they appear as though they're in motion. So we gave it a shot. In the first video on the left-hand side, the 3 tips to spot a phishing scam, we actually tried to follow the same Tasty format with the recipe bowl, only we had our recipe tips pop out of the computer screen like little paper warning banners, and then they squished around and they float around into circles like fish. By our next video in holiday phishing, we actually used Grinch hands, and the Grinch delivered a holiday phishing package that was filled with all kinds of bugs and viruses that spilled out, and the bugs kind of swirled around. And it was great. We were starting to tell a better story. By our third one, we had some new props, which you'll see. And we started to gain some followers because we were telling a really interesting story in this new format. And thus, our villain video series was born. So just like Chiquita Banana, we found this person to be our spokesperson for the product and deliver all kinds of like cyber best practices and tips. So the good news is, like, you can see when it comes to producing and editing videos for the very first time, start small. I mean, you can see how we progressed and eventually got better at telling our story and utilizing our props. All right. So that video probably cost $10 maybe to make. Nothing. So the brilliance of that, it's just photos. That's it. It's just photos. There's no fancy equipment. I'm not making anything out of some fancy software. It's just photos, and we just piece it together. We put it into Final Cut Pro, add the music, and voila, there you have it. Now, I'll tell you a quick sidebar story. So when we got to the part where he was watching inappropriate sites. I kind of had a different plan for that site. I actually had him looking at another wooden mannequin with sort of pixelated bars. But then branding came in. And they're like, Jill, we can't have your mannequin looking at mannequin porn. I was like, why not? I don't get it. That's what's really happening. I'm just trying to address what's really happening. And they're like, yeah, we just can't do it. And I knew that they would say no, but I put it in there anyway, because I was just like, it's funny, I want to do it. But they're like, nah, come up with something else. So I was like, all right, I'll scrap it, and came up with a dating site. Now I'll walk you through how I did these. Okay, your storyboard. Set yourself up in a conference room with a whiteboard and just start writing. Just start writing and scripting and mapping it out, frame by frame by frame. You don't need to be an artist to do this. I'm literally drawing stick figures. And at each point along the way, I'm looking at the story and I'm asking myself, does this make sense? Are the people going to understand it? Is there a message? And is there like a clear intro, hook, middle, and conclusion? And if there isn't, then I look at it, I step back, I look at it again, and I just start erasing, and I flip frames around, and I erase, and I start over until I get to the point where I feel like, yes, I feel like there's a good story here. And I know it's typically myself and my videographer in this room, and we're just brainstorming. And I know that we have a real winner by the end if we are both just laughing our butts off. Setting up your storyboard. Choose your topic and objective, something that is directly impacting your employees right now that you need to address. In this case, this storyboard is about password strengths. Come up with your theme and your setting. For me, we already have our theme established here, and our character, which is our villain. So how do you want to visualize it? Key messages. What is impacting your employees? Why do they need to know about this? And more importantly, what is the call to action for them? Character actions. How is he going to demonstrate the key message in each one of these frames? Map it out. Again, with the character actions. So our villain is the antagonist. So essentially, he's going to be demonstrating the bad behavior or the risks. The thing by teaching our employees what not to do. And then we have our shots and our scenes along the way, and then the prop list. How is he going to act out these things? What is he going to need, etc. So on film day, because we were so thoughtful about our planning process by having a storyboard session, we are able to film and edit all in the same day. So these videos that we produce now we can have one wrapped up in days. And that is really just me moving the guy. He takes a photo, I move again, takes a photo, and so forth until it's all done. So now I will show you the video you just saw from the storyboarding session. Okay. All right. So did you get it? The password got stronger. He couldn't lift it. He gave up. Inspiration. I think the most important thing is to look outside of your industry. So clearly what worked for me is I was at home watching Tasty. Tasty worked for me. Tasty was the idea or the inspiration I need to transform my cyber videos into something different. So you need to do the same thing. What do you like to watch? Start there. Maybe there's some really cool TV shows that you can draw inspiration from. What's popular right now? A favorite commercial? What's trending? Start looking at things that are already working for somebody else, and then sort of repurpose it for yourself. Okay, so my videos are anywhere from the cost of $0. I'm nonprofit, so we have no money usually. So $0 to $25, sometimes $50. The most I've ever spent is like $100 based on more props. So start with a series, or develop a series. That way you don't need to think of a new idea each time you're creating a video. So I have this stop motion series. Everything kind of fits, like it belongs together. So when you think of it that way, anytime somebody comes up to me and says, Jill, we have to get another message out. It's on password strengths. Can you do it? I'm like, yeah, I can do it because I already have a series set up. I just need to demonstrate it with the series I've already built. You can develop a character to tell your story. So it worked for Chiquita, Banana, and the villain works for me. I think it's easier also to coach your employees with just one spokesperson rather than using kind of like this whole arsenal of actors, and that's just really more time that's going to be spent on scripting. So just keep it simple. One-room production set, again, you'll save a huge amount of money on your time and travel and resources if you can figure out a way of filming and editing all in the same room. And I regularly go shopping in my house for props. Everything I look at, I think could be a potential prop for a future video. As an example, so that is a Barbie wardrobe. I stole it out of my girls' playroom. Those are bouncy balls. The towels you see stacked on that rack was a washcloth I cut up. Check out the yoga mats. I cut up beer koozies. Those are beer koozies. And those little foam rollers in the back, those are Nerf gun pellets. The tire that the villain pushes around, that's my dog's toy. We have I stole bungee cords from the garage. That password barbell we made out of skewers. And the kicker, you see the water cooler in the back? That's my lipstick. I am at the use lipstick as furniture phase in my scrapping. So it's totally possible to do this. Just look around, just like kind of keep an open mind, grab things. Okay, so pro tips again. Do you want, when you're watching your videos that you've produced, are you like the girl that I had at the beginning of my presentation? She's bored out of her mind. Is that it? Or are you genuinely enjoying what you are watching? It's okay. Use yourself as the consumer. Choose something or create something that you yourself want to watch, and you want to watch it over and over again. Again, create concise, short videos. All those tasty videos, my videos, are generally under 2 minutes long. I like to use a storytelling narrative. So I have a protagonist and an antagonist. My villain is the antagonist. Even in a bad movie, people like watching to the end. They just want to see how it ends. So yeah, use a storytelling narrative. And try not to lean too heavily on a really lengthy script. You're going to lose people. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it fun. Remember the Chiquita banana. And please don't forget the music. Pond 5 is a great resource for anybody that's just looking to download music tracks. So when I have a theme set up for my topic, and in this case the password strength, I knew that I wanted him to be working out in the gym and getting buff. So I went and I just typed in Rocky music into Pond 5, and it came up with all these options. So I spend an enormous amount of time looking for the perfect song. I will go through, for every one of my videos, hundreds and hundreds of tracks until I get that one track that I think will resonate with the audience. So music is like critically important to the feeling that I want people to have when they're watching it. That's it. Thank you.